There is a pause you have learned to ignore. It is the small silence that arrives right after you tell someone your age. The half second in which their eyes move once across your face before they say, "Oh," and then follow it with something kind. You have felt that pause. You do not think about it because there has never been anything to do with it, and so you have quietly decided it means nothing. It does not mean nothing. It means a person looked at your skin and read a number, and the number they read was not the number you gave them. I am Mina Park, and I grew up inside the habits I am about to hand you, in small apartments in Seoul, in the wet heat of a bathhouse, under the hands of my harmony, my grandmother, the mother of my mother. And before I give you the 8 secrets, I am going to take 3 excuses away from you, because you have been standing behind them for years, and they have been lying to you the whole time. It is not your genes. Your genes set a starting line, and then they step back and let everything else write the rest, and the rest is almost entirely habit. It is not the money you have not spent. The most expensive jar on the shelf cannot undo something you do to your own face every single morning. And it is not the shelf itself, the serums, the acids, the 10 bottles in a row, because no bottle will ever reach the real source of this, and the real source is not a product at all. It is a principle. It is a way of thinking about your own skin that you were simply never taught, and by the end of this, you will hold it completely. So here is the shape of what is coming. The first secret is one you are doing wrong every single morning with your own 2 hands, believing it is care. The last secret is the one the people who love you have noticed for years and decided never to say out loud because there was no kind way to say it. Stay with me until the 3rd one, because that is the one hiding in your bathroom right now. Wait for the 6th, because that is where you have been aging fastest while looking in exactly the wrong place. And do not leave before the 8th, because there is one thing you do every day that quietly undoes all 7 that come before it, and it does not appear on this list until the very end. Now, before the first secret, I need to give you one idea, one small map, and once you are holding it, everything else clicks into place. In America, the instinct with skin is to add. Add a scrub, add heat, add a stronger product, add effort, do more to it, work on it, attack it. Korean skin thinking runs the other direction. It is subtraction. It is protect and do less. It is the belief that your skin is not a problem to be solved, but a surface to be defended, gently, for decades, and that the woman who does the least aggressive thing every day for 30 years will pass the woman who does the most aggressive thing every Sunday. Less, not more. Hold that. I know exactly what you are thinking right now. You are thinking this is going to end with me telling you to buy 10 Korean bottles and follow a 10-step routine you have already seen online. And you are half right, because those bottles exist and some of them are wonderful, but you are also completely wrong, because none of the 8 things I am about to give you costs anything you do not already own. So, the first one. You believe sunscreen is for the beach. You believe it is a summer object, a vacation object, something for the day you can feel the sun cooking the back of your neck, and on every ordinary Tuesday, in your car, at your desk by the window, in the gray light of winter, you wear none. Here is the reversal. The sun does most of the aging you can see, and this is well documented, not the years and not the genes, but the light, quietly, through glass, through clouds, on the days you never think about it. In many Korean homes, sunscreen is not weather, it is hygiene. It is the last step before you leave a room, applied on a gray day in January with the same attention you give it in July. Look at the back of your own hands right now, and then the driver's side of your face, the left cheek that sits closest to the car window all year. And you will often find the sun has already been writing there while you were not looking. My halmoni used to say, "The sun is patient, so you must be more patient than the sun." And here is a thread to hold, because the sun is not even the place you are aging fastest, and I will show you that at number 6. So that pulls us straight into the second one, because protecting your skin all day means nothing if you strip it bare every morning. You believe hot water means clean. You turn the shower hot enough to fog the mirror, you hold your face under it, you feel that tight, squeaky, scrubbed feeling afterward, and you read that tightness as proof of clean. That tightness is not clean. That tightness is your skin stripped of the thin layer of oil that keeps it soft and full, and heat does that faster than anything. In Korea, the face meets water that is cool or barely warm, never hot, because hot water is understood to age you a little every day in exchange for a feeling. My halmoni said it plainly, hot water is for dishes, not for a face. But even lukewarm water will not save you if you do the next thing wrong, and almost everyone does the next thing wrong. The third one, you believe you should scrub. You take a rough cloth or a grainy wash and you scrub your face hard because you have been taught that fresh skin is skin you have sanded down to something new. Now let me be fair, because this is where people misunderstand Korea completely. In the Jjimjilbang, the Korean bathhouse, there is scrubbing, real scrubbing, a whole ritual of it on the body, and it is wonderful, and it is nothing you should ever do to your face. That is the distinction almost no one hears. Korea scrubs the body and babies the face. The face is treated like silk, cleaned with oil first and then with water, pressed and never sanded, because the skin on your face is thin and the skin on your back is not, and a habit that is right in one place is wrong in another. So clean gently with your fingertips in small circles for a full minute and stop treating your face like a floor. My halmoni would say, you do not scrub a face the way you scrub a pot. A face remembers. And that patience, that refusal to rush, is not a small thing. So let me stop the list for a moment and tell you what it really is. In the old routines, there is a design hidden inside the slowness. The layering, the waiting, the gentle repetition, the minutes that seem wasteful. These were never inefficiency. They were the method. A grandmother pressing something into her granddaughter's cheeks with 2 fingers, slowly, every night, was not wasting time. She was building 30 years of skin, 1 quiet minute at a time. And the ritual was the delivery system for the patients, and the patience was the actual active ingredient. America looks at those 10 minutes and asks how to compress them to 1. Korea looks at them and understands that the 10 minutes are the point, that you cannot rush what you are trying to protect, and that anything worth keeping for decades is worth a few unhurried minutes a day. Now hold that patience, because the 4th secret runs on it. You believe shine is the enemy. You feel oil on your skin and you fight it. You dry it out. You mattify. You strip. You chase a flat, powdery finish and call it clean. But plump, hydrated skin folds far less than dry skin, and dryness is what lets fine lines set. In Korea, the goal is the opposite of matte. It is mulgwang, which means water light, the look of skin so full of moisture it seems lit from underneath, and the softer word chokchok, which is what we call skin that is moist and cushioned and full. You reach it not with one heavy cream, but with thin layers of light hydration patted in and allowed to sink. water held in on purpose, and skin that holds water does not crease the way skin that has been dried out does. My harmony had a word for a dry cheek. She called it a thirsty face, and she said a thirsty face tells your age before your mouth does. Which brings me to the fifth, and to your own hands, because the way you touch your face may be aging it more than anything you put on it. You believe you should rub the product in, work it, press hard, drag it across your skin to make it disappear. Every hard drag, every rough towel pulled sideways across your cheek, every impatient wipe tugs at skin thousands of times a year, and skin that is pulled in the same direction daily learns the fold. So pat, do not drag. Press your moisturizer in with fingertips. Press your face dry with a soft towel instead of wiping it, the way you would press water out of something delicate you did not want to tear. My harmony pressed everything. She never wiped. And she said, be gentle with a face the way you are gentle with the eyes of someone falling asleep. And here I want you to stop and prove something to yourself right now with your own body before I tell you the sixth. Press the back of one hand for a second and let go, and watch how quickly the skin flattens back down. Now press the skin just under your jaw, on your neck, and let go, and watch that. For most of you, one springs back and the other is slower, and the slower one is the place you have been forgetting for years, and that gap you just felt is the whole reason for number 6, because here it is. You believe your face is the tell. You put every drop of care above your jawline and you stop there, at the chin, like a shoreline, and below it, nothing. But the neck and the backs of the hands are thin and exposed and forgotten, and they show age faster than the face, and they are the first place a stranger's eye actually goes. All year your sunscreen has stopped at your chin. All year your moisturizer has stopped at your jaw. All year you have been protecting the one part people forgive and neglecting the 2 parts people read. So take everything down, do not stop at the jaw, carry the sunscreen and the moisture over the neck and onto the backs of the hands, every day the same as the face. My harmony's hands looked 20 years younger than the hands of other women her age, and it was not luck. It was 50 years of never stopping at the wrist. And this is where I have to be honest with you about who benefits from your not knowing this, because it is a fair question. If these 8 things are this simple and this cheap, why did no one ever tell you? The answer is quiet, and it is true, and it is not a conspiracy. No one earns anything from a habit that costs nothing. There is enormous money in the jar and the serum and the device, and there is no money at all in telling you to wear sunscreen you already own, wash with cooler water, and stop scrubbing. And so the free habits are the ones no advertisement ever repeats. That is one silence. The other silence is smaller and closer to home, and I will come back to it at the end. So hold that, and let me give you the 7th, because you are waiting for the expensive answer and there is not one. You believe the secret must be intensity, one powerful product, one big effort, one dramatic Sunday. But the real engine is consistency, small things done daily for years, and there is a fairness I owe you here, because Korea is not magic and Koreans are not uniform. Some Koreans do none of this. Genetics still matter, the sun still wins if you let it, and there is no habit on earth that erases every year. What consistency does is bend the line slowly, and the viral look everyone chases now, the glass skin they sell you as new, is not new at all. It is only the old daily gentleness photographed under a good light and given a name. Some of it comes from within, too, from the hanbang tradition, the old Korean herbal thinking, and from food that has long been part of the Korean table, though I will not hand you a number I cannot prove, only the pattern, which is real. My harmony did the same 3 small things every night for 60 years and skipped them for no one. And she said, "It is not the strong medicine once, it is the weak medicine always." And that leaves the 8th, the one I promised, the one nobody told you, and to reach it, I have to pay off the thread I planted at the very start. You have been waiting for a product. It was never a product. There is one thing you do every single morning that quietly undoes the other 7, and it is the rush. It is the hot, fast morning, the scalding water, the hard towel, the skip of the sunscreen because you are late, the whole gentle method thrown away in 90 seconds because you are running for the door. That is the daily eraser. And now the quieter half, the second silence I owed you. The people closest to you have seen that pause I described at the beginning, the one strangers give you, and they have chosen, out of love, to say nothing, because there was never a kind way to tell someone they look tired when they feel fine. That silence was never cruelty, it was tenderness with no words for itself. And so I want to lift something off you before we finish, because you have been carrying it through all 8 of these. You were not vain. You were not lazy. You were not careless with your own face. You were handed the wrong instruction your whole life, told to add when the answer was to subtract, told that clean meant hot and fresh meant scrubbed and effort meant force, and no one in your life had the words to correct it gently. None of that was your fault, and every bit of it is fixable, starting tonight, with things already in your house. So here is the whole method in one breath, the single thread running through all 8. Protect and do less. Wear the sunscreen on the gray days and carry it past your chin. Turn the water down. Clean your face like silk and scrub only your body. Keep your skin full of water instead of drying it out. Pat, never drag. Carry everything down the neck and onto the hands. Do the small things daily instead of the big thing rarely, and do not throw it all away in the morning rush. Now I am going to ask one thing of you, 1 week, 1 habit, because a method you admire changes nothing, and a method you do for 7 days changes your face. For the next 7 days, wear sunscreen every morning on your face, your neck, and the backs of your hands. Gray days included, no exceptions. And on the 8th morning, look at the person in the mirror in daylight and see how much less tired that face looks, how much the word rested arrives before the word old. That is your challenge. Then come down to the comments and tell me the truth. Which of these 8 were you doing completely backward? The hot water, the scrubbing, the stopping at the jaw? Tell me the one that made you wince, because you are not the only one, and it helps to say it out loud. If this reached you, stay with me here, because next time I am going to tell you the Korean evening habit that decides how your face looks the moment you wake, the one that happens after the lights are off, and most people do the exact opposite of it every single night without ever knowing. My harmony is gone now, but every gray morning when I carry the sunscreen down over my hands, hers appear under mine, and that is the real method. Not a product, not a secret, only one pair of patient hands teaching the next, slowly, for as long as it takes.